Hello again, and welcome back for another yoga video on my channel. My name is Jessie. I'm a yoga teacher with about 4 years of experience, and I specialize in helping people manage stress and anxiety using tools like yoga. So I'm not going to talk much, I'm just going to jump right in because I want to keep this video on the shorter side, hopefully only about 20 minutes, so that you can pop this into your day, whether it's in your morning, after work, before bed, whatever suits you to help you cope with the stress in your life. So you can come to this pose called easy seat. It's not so easy for everybody, so if sitting in this particular pose doesn't work, you can extend your legs out straight or sit in any other way that feels good for you. You can also take a pillow. I have one behind me here. We're going to need that for later, by the way, so if you do have a pillow that you can grab or a blanket that you can roll up, it's going to go under your knees during our Shavasana at the end. So closing off the eyes, you're going to place your hands on your knees, just palms face down for today. You're going to keep things nice and grounded throughout this practice. It'll be very slow and very simple. So just taking a few breaths as you sit up, letting the crown of the head lift towards the ceiling. Exhale, releasing the shoulders back and down. Inhale again, lifting the shoulders up towards the ears. Exhale them back, down. So almost like they're melting down your back. Just taking a couple of breaths with no movement in the body. Besides that feeling of sitting up towards the sky. Take an inhale breath and you lift your arms up overhead, reaching them out towards the sides or in front of you if you don't have space. Make sure your shoulders don't come up towards your ears as you lift your fingers towards the sky, and then bring your hands together and exhale, bring the palms down through your heart center and back down to the floor. We'll stretch through the neck momentarily, so bring your hands back to your knees and you'll take your left ear down towards your left shoulder. So straight to the side, just letting opposite shoulder slide down and away so that you're getting a lot of length through the side of your neck. And then bringing the head up and over to the other side gently. So I had a mystery incident with my neck where I don't know what happened, but the range of motion on this side is not very good today. So you just have to work within your limitations. If you have one side of your neck that's sore, you can't go as far, that's okay. Know that if you try to force anything, you can make that worse. You're just going as far as you can without any pain, or the minimal amount of pain that you're in consistently. And let's release that side, bringing the chin down towards the chest. So stretching now through the back of the neck. And I have my eyes closed through all of these neck stretches. You guys can absolutely keep your eyes closed as well if you're okay to follow along with the verbal directions. Feel free to open your eyes at any point if you do need to have a visual reference. And you can add the hands on the back of the head here if you like, so just interlacing the fingers and gently placing the palms down on the back of the head. Gentle pressure as you make sure to continue to sit up straight, so you're not rounding forward, it's just the neck bending. Releasing. And we'll just lift the head up towards the sky. Last one, so the face towards the sky as you tilt the head back. Be super gentle, so you don't want to go too far. your eyes back open now. So we'll go into child's pose next. Child's pose is a super relaxing pose. So you'll come on to, first of all, hands and knees, however you want to get there from that seated position. You'll spread your knees wide apart. You'll untuck your toes so the tops of your feet are down on the mat. You can start to sit your hips back. So if you experience any pain at all through the ankles or feet or hips, then you just might be trying to sit down a little too far, a little too fast. So give it some time. Let things gradually open up, and then as you stay in this pose, or as you practice this pose more regularly, you can start to sit back further, and then we're also going to walk the hands forward and start to lower down through the chest as well. So you'll start to feel a nice opening across the shoulders, kind of through the armpits, around the upper arm area. You can rest your forehead down and just focus on breathing. Breathing and finding length. So you're sitting back at the same time as you're reaching forward until you get to an edge, a comfortable place where you can just stay in the pose as is for a little while. Let's just come on up out of that child's pose. Such a nice pose to be in. You can really just stay in that all day. We're going to move on into our cat-cow. So cat-cow, I think I've had in every video I've done. You'll inhale, drop the belly down, look forward. Chest is going to come a little bit forward, kind of between the arms. And then exhale, so your pelvis will tilt under, your spine will round up towards the ceiling. You'll press into the ground, lifting, and the head can drop down so you're gazing back towards your legs. So we go through that a little faster, inhaling. One breath, one movement. Exhale, taking the spine up towards the ceiling. Inhale. Belly drops down, gazing forward. Exhale. Spine lifts, pelvis tucks under. Really arching and rounding the spine up, pressing through the shoulders. And let's do it one more time. I think the reason my videos end up being longer is because everything just feels so good. And also, I know it takes more than 10 seconds in a pose to get the benefits. So unless you're looking for cardio, then Vinyasa flow is really awesome. But I tend to go more towards the healing type of yoga where you got to stay for about 30 seconds to a minute in every pose in order to get those benefits. So moving on, puppy pose. This is a great alternative to child's pose if you do have that pain in the shin or the tops of the feet. So for puppy pose, we'll come into all fours again. Walk your knees back a little bit so that your feet are right at the edge of your mat, because you're going to need the space in front of you. Your knees and hips are going to stay in one line while you walk your hands out and drop your chest down at the same time, getting into this nice deep back bend. You can even drop the forearms down if you're able to come down that low. And again, you can sort of rest your head if you like, or you can gaze slightly forward in front of you, whatever is most comfortable for your neck. Couple more breaths here. So we're gonna just hold in this puppy pose, getting all the stretchy benefits through the shoulders and through the chest. All areas where we do hold tension, even the neck, getting a bit of a stretch in a little bit of a way. Let's come forward and just lie down on the belly. We'll take 3 Cobra Rolls. So inhale, lift the chest. Keep the hips down. Keep your elbows in and keep your shoulders back and down away from your ears in this pose. And we'll come down. We'll come up 2 more times just like that. exhale down. So kind of like cat-cow. Inhale. Exhale. Let's press back onto all fours here for a moment. We're actually going to switch gears and switch our position up. So rather than being on all fours, we're going to take the legs out in front of us for a couple of stretches here. So first, we'll take a forward fold, seated, one leg at a time. Then we'll do both legs, just to warm into it a little bit. So you're going to just bring your right leg in towards your left thigh. Inhale to sit up nice and tall. I'm bending in my left leg a little bit here, just to make it a little bit more comfortable for myself. I prefer to keep the knee bent, so you can give that a try, and if you like it, feel free to practice that. So slowly tipping from the hips, bending only from there, and trying to keep your back relatively straight. Chest is tracking down towards the knee. As you're leaning forward, face is towards your foot. And releasing that one, sitting up. And you'll switch out the feet. So now your left foot obviously is in towards the right thigh, sitting up nice and tall. Inhale, bending through the knee if you like, and then exhaling. So right from here, bending from the hip, hinging is a good term for it. And then coming chest towards the knee, hands on the leg, face towards the foot. So as you inhale, you can lengthen. As you exhale, you can deepen. I can tell you this as far as I'm going to with this hamstring. It's not having it. And sitting up, so we'll go for the two-leg version of that pose now. So both legs are going to be out in front, and both of them can be a little bent. So making sure you can really ground down through your hip bones and through your sit bones. Sometimes people ask me, what am I doing when I'm getting ready for a forward fold? Well, if you have a lot of booty in between your sit bones and the floor, it's a lot tougher to really get an effective forward fold. So if you've got back, just, make sure you can feel your pelvic bones really grounding down into the floor as you sit up tall. Knees are going to bend a little bit maybe, and then chest is going to come forward as you stretch your face towards your feet with a nice straight spine, or as straight as you can manage. No shame if it's a little bit bent through the upper back. I'm sure mine is. Trying to pull forward with the chest, keep the shoulders back is going to help with that. And then let's release. Conveniently, my water is right here and I need a sip right now. So another forward fold that we're going to do is a straddle or wide leg forward fold, also seated. So this is a great time, if you're on a hard floor like I am, to grab your pillow. This is going to look really graceful and good, but just get underneath your bum. Yoga is not always about looking graceful and good, but I am more conscious of it when I'm on a camera. Sitting up nice and tall. You can bend through the knees a little bit here as well. And then I like to do a similar strategy with this forward fold as the other one. So I'm going to forward fold in this direction, and the other side, and then down the center. So inhale, you're going to slightly be twisted as you turn towards your right leg, and then exhale as you come down. Same strategy, so chest towards the knee, as flat of a back as you can manage, walking the hands down the leg. Inhale, releasing that side. So we'll twist towards the other side. Inhale to prepare yourself. Get that knee bent a little bit there. And exhale It just makes such a big difference. For me, I can fold a bit further and much more comfortably. So that's kind of what you can't see is how it actually feels. So there's a lot more pulling in behind the knee when you try to just flatten it out. For me anyways, I'm not at that point in my flexibility journey yet. Which is why I keep working on it. Keep doing the yoga. Release, and then we'll inhale. If you want to, you can bring the arms up over the head, and then exhale them down as you come into your fold. And with every incremental breath in, you're going to be trying to walk a little bit further forward. Just be conscious that you're not going, kind of like pigeon-toed in your fold. Keep your toes pointed up towards the ceiling. A little bit of a knee bend if that works for you. Super big stretch for the inner groin area. Trying to keep a straight spine with the shoulders back and the chest forward a bit. And let's release that very intense stretch. So go ahead and bring your legs in. We're going to do cobbler. Cobbler pose, or sometimes called butterfly. I like butterfly better. I don't know why you would make shoes with them on your own feet. Taking a deep breath, sit up tall, and exhale, coming forward. So you're going to bring your chest down towards your feet. Head is going to be tracking towards the floor in front of your feet. You can use your elbows to help open up your knees, which is going to help open up your hips, which is going to allow you to fold a little deeper into this position. So a nice flat back, inhaling the crown of the head out in front of you, and exhale. Maybe you're coming a little tiny bit deeper, maybe not. Maybe you've come as deep as you can for today, and that's fine. Then you'll stay there and breathe. Feeling how your body feels in this position, what's coming up for you. And then inhale, let's release that one, coming back up to a seat. So I've got just one pose in here that's maybe not entirely a beginner pose, but it's pigeon. So if you know this one is not a good one for you, you can do the reclined figure four. So you would lie down, your ankle over knee like that, and then you'll pull your leg in. We're going to do pigeon upright. So if that's okay for you, this is how we'll set it up. First, from all fours, you're just simply going to slide. Start with the left leg here. Slide that knee towards your wrist. And you'll start to move your foot over towards the other side of your mat. So it's going to be somewhere behind your right wrist. Might not be right behind it, and that's totally okay. And you'll start to just ease back with your knee until you come to a point where your hips are nice and level. You're feeling a good stretch through that left side hip. So you can either stay upright with your body weight essentially coming down and intensifying that hip stretch, or you can come down into a sleeping pigeon pose where you lower down onto the forearms, and then you might get down even lower to rest your head on your hands like so. But actually for today, I think I would like to keep myself in an upright pigeon pose because I think my hips can take it today. Just closing out the eyes, taking a few breaths, feeling what you feel in your body, seeing if you can make any little micro adjustments to make yourself more comfortable here. And releasing a muscle here or tightening a muscle here, making a little shift in the placement of the back knee. anything you feel help you in this pose. And then let's start to release that one. So it's as simple as bringing that back knee back in, sliding the foot back over towards the left, and voila, moving the knee back in place, and here we are. So of course we have to practice both sides. It's just how it is. So here we go. Right knee is going to slide forward and then open towards the left. Back knee is going to back up until you find that magic spot for you where your hips are nice and level. So they might not be as low as my hips are. My hips like pigeon pose. But if yours don't, you can grab your lovely friend, the pillow. You might even double it up to make it a little higher, or heck, maybe you have a yoga block. It's actually quite nice. I'm not mad at that at all. I think I'm gonna leave that there. So that's how you can support your hip if you do need a little bit of extra height underneath the bed. So you could lift it up higher with a block or by doubling up the pillow. I'm just gonna have a sneaky sip of water. Coming into the sleeping pigeon if you'd like. So again, that just means lowering down into the forearms. And then maybe you want to get a little bit lower and bring your head all the way down onto your hands. With your elbows flared out to the side. So we'll just be here for a couple more breaths. Maybe closing off the eyes, really going inside and feeling around in the body, scanning for any points of tension, any potential adjustments that you can make, or anything that can be released. And then starting to make our way back out of this particular pose. Moving the knee forward again. And you can just place your pillow over to the side here. Bridge pose. If I want to keep it short, I have to have a plan. It's like grocery shopping. You make a list and you stick to it. I think I'm already over 20 minutes though. Anyway, bringing the feet in towards the fingertips. And then as we exhale, we're gonna lift up the hips away from the floor, using the power of the glutes and hamstrings, pressing into the heels. If you like, you can start to lift one side of the chest, bringing your shoulder blade underneath of your body. Same on the other side. I'm really making it exaggerated just so you guys can understand what I'm doing. And then I can interlace my fingers, pressing the arms against the floor and lifting the hips even higher. Try to keep the neck nice and neutral, keeping everything activated through the back chain of the body, just meaning all the muscles that you can see when you're looking at the back of a person, you know, hamstrings, the back of the calves, glutes. Your back will be powered up here as well. And then let's release, rolling from the shoulders down to the hips to release bridge pose. And then you'll let your knees go from one side to the other side just for a couple of repetitions to let your back relax and recover from that little pose. So bridge pose, and now we'll do a supine twist. Last two poses here. So for our supine twist, we're actually going to keep both legs bent. So what you'll do is take arms up to the sides, so straight up from the shoulders, and you can be palms face up or palms face down, whatever feels good for your body. We'll move our hips over to the left just an inch or two, And then the knees instinctively are going to start to drop to the right. So that is exactly what we're looking for here. So this is a really, really gentle twist. You might feel it a bit in your hip or a bit through your lower back or mid-back. If you like, you can turn your head to face the left side, but I'm not going to do that because it hurts. And so if you'd like to make this a little bit more of an intense stretch, you can add on a quote-unquote cat's tail to this. So it becomes a cattail supine twist. So you'll take your left hand, find your left foot, and then place the leg back down. So now you're adding in this little quadricep stretch to the rest of the twist. And then you can switch the foot that you're holding, so you can essentially like change the legs if you'd like. I think I said that twice, so it's really up to you. And you can have a bit of that as well. So that's going to open the hip a little bit more. You can even take your right hand, find that knee, and get like real deep into this. So you're adjusting yourself basically deeper into the move. That feels really good. I'm going to do this more. And release. So just let your legs go. Move your hips back into the center. Bring those legs in towards the chest. And then back out again. Same thing towards the other side. Arms come out towards the sides first. So we have little multiple stages. We'll move the hips over a little bit and go into stage one of letting the legs just go over towards the left side now. So that's just letting them flop. You can turn the head over to the right if you want to. We'll just stay here for a moment. And then we'll add that first version of the cattail on where it's the leg on top. You're reaching the same hand and foot towards each other and getting that hamstring or a quadricep stretch rather. And then you can release that one. Switch the legs up, bringing that left hand as an option to the knee on top so that you can really twist over to the side as you also stretch through the back and a little bit through the leg, the other leg. You all twist it up, you get confused with which side is even which. And releasing that. Again, just bringing yourself back to center. So happy baby will be our last active type of pose, bringing the knees in towards the chest first, and then reaching for the outer edges of the foot, bringing the soles up towards the ceiling with a bend in the knees, so the knees are far, far, far apart, and you can get a nice little rocking motion going here. So babies have a lot of good instincts about how to move their bodies in ways that feel good, and encourage them to be flexible and open, and this is totally inspired by when babies grab their toes and do pretty much this exact thing. Maybe a little bit more wild and erratic and not so controlled. But you can do whatever you want here. If you want to be silly and try to put your toes in your mouth, you know, you go for it. You do you. And then just reaching for that pillow, bringing the knees together, keeping them up for a moment so that you can Get that pillow in behind the knees and then gently release down. Maybe you need to move a little bit on your mat in order to not have your heels go off the edge. That's better. But with those knees slightly bent and the pillow underneath supporting them, that gives you a chance to sort of tuck your hips under so you get the flat of your back to ground against the floor as well. Arms are going to rest by your sides or even on your body, on the belly or on the heart space or both. Close off the eyes if you haven't already done so. And just start to scan through the body and just release any tension that you find as much as possible. Just going to breathe here for a few rounds of breath, and I would encourage you to stick around. I'm going to guess this video is around 30 minutes, so you want to spend 3 to 5 minutes, which is not a big investment, big extra investment of your time. Just stay here and breathe, enjoying all the space and calm that you've hopefully been able to cultivate through this practice. So I'll leave it there for today in terms of my guidance, and you can pass things over to your inner guidance system and your breath to complete the rest of your meditation. Thank you so much for practicing with me again, if this is not your first time, and have a wonderful day. Bye.